we both have our thick wallets.
We both have a
fat stack.
a fat stock of wallet, huh? What you know about a fat... Oh, and he's just so disrespectful with the phone. Just so buttery disrespectful with the phone.
I used to be terrible. I used to be on that thing. Because I hate being on my phone. And then for a period of time, remember? I was just texting. And now I'm doing it again. But now I have
that was a great story.
Now I have a different
Welcome
reason.
back to the podcast. This is officially episode 15.
Wait, was that recording?
We were recording. We've been recording for about a minute now. But
you're like the Google Home and Alexa.
I'm an Alexa?
Yeah, dude, you're just recording constantly.
I'm not. I started it when we were talking about fat stacks of wallets. All right, welcome back. This is officially the start of episode number 15.
Cheers.
And
cheers to the...
It's 9:30.
It's the new year somewhere in the world. Cheers to the new year. This is tequila.
Dylan needs it at this point. Dylan got here at 4:30 this afternoon to do the podcast. It is 9:30 p.m.
That's how...
What do you have to say for yourself?
The real question is, what do you have to say about yourself?
About myself? I know I said that. I know I accidentally said that. But what do you have to say for yourself?
On behalf of myself, I would like to say that I'm moving to Canada.
To Canada?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that has nothing to do with anything. But Dylan has been losing it. We actually started a podcast. We got 18 minutes in. We talked about some moderately good stuff. It was probably pretty lame, but we were 18 minutes in. We were rolling.
We were getting musty.
It was musty. Dude, I was sweating.
We were both sweating. My
profusely.
Palms were swimming in pools.
Just slightly elevated off of the surface a little bit more.
Just sliding across the wood.
Yeah. But Dylan decided that he was actually going to pass out if we didn't stop the podcast and find some food.
That's true. I did not sleep at all last night, so I was about to pass out. So
yeah, well, you knew that we were doing this today, so I'm a little...
Well, I did know that, but I also had an obligation that I had to balance.
Yeah, but also you didn't have to color the thing for 8 hours.
Well, that's what it takes.
That's fair. Maybe it does. I have no idea. But
it's what it takes for me, not everyone. But yeah,
no.
I'm particularly slow.
People that have the full capacity of their brain, you know?
I'm currently at around 3% usage.
Yeah, but we're going to kick it into overdrive. Get an extra 50%, throw you a little... There it is. I told you. When we eat,
upgrade the RAM.
It's going to happen.
Processor is at an i5 right now.
So we just ate, and now I'm going to burp all the time.
He said this before the podcast that since he ate, he was going to have some difficulty. So
I will have this difficulty talking.
Viewer discretion advised.
It's going to get a little gross.
Dude, I'm on no sleep and I feel great.
Dude,
I feel like
you're at the end.
Dude, maybe my life is going to flash before my eyes in a second.
It's possible. No, but
I'm going out great.
You're going out great.
Rudy's
going out great on Devon's podcast.
Oh, we need to blur this out. We can't.
Yeah, no free advertising.
No. See how I've been strategically placing the cup though?
Yeah, me too. See how mine's facing the opposite way? Mine's just colors.
Dude, but I have a difficulty because I have both sides, so I have to do it like this every time.
Yeah. So those people just think it is.
And the people that have a side eye, lazy eye, they're going to be drawn to this side and they're going to be like, Rudd.
Dude, I have seen
Bro, your hair.
Is it bad right now?
Dude, it looks like you switched places with me and you were the one that got 4 hours of sleep.
Dude, I feel like it a little bit right now. And I don't know why, but it's still so goddamn hot in here.
I know. Isn't it hot?
Dylan loves talking to people that are not currently on the podcast.
Sorry, we have an audience. We have a live audience.
We have a producer.
We have an exec, and we have a PA on set.
Yeah, the PA is currently just watching a TV show.
The PA is about to become someone who wished that they never watched anything on their iPad.
And that was
during set.
And that was way too hard for you to say.
I know. I was going to say something else, and it didn't make sense.
Dude, but
jolly good.
What I was gonna say is I've seen way too many people with lazy eyes realistically. And that's what I said, realistically.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Recently, I've seen so many people with lazy eyes. And honestly, I don't realize that they have a lazy eye until I realize that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, dude,
and
you
I'm
must
like,
be really looking.
Which eye
who
am I looking at?
Are you talking about people just you're passing by?
No, dude. Just people that I like am in contact with. I'm talking with.
What about me?
I mean, you're burping into the so disrespectful.
I think that was a little bit of a lazy burp, if you know what I mean. It
No.
kind of swayed off to the side.
Dude, but have you ever, dude, with these people with lazy eyes, I look at their eyes.
Oh, you're being
listen.
being
I look into their eyes.
discriminatory.
I look into their eyes and I'm like, I wonder if they notice that I'm looking at their lazy eye, but I'm looking at their eyes.
I've had that.
That's such a confusing thing, and I almost think, hey, I should look away because like if someone has like an amputated arm or something, and you're like staring at their arm, they're like, hey, yeah, my arm got.
Or
rough.
if you go to shake their hand,
yeah, my aunt who's a little obese sat on my arm a few years ago, and I got a blood clot, and I had to remove it.
What?
That's what they all say. So
I thought you were going on like a.
That's it. That was the end of the sentence.
Yeah. Keep going.
No, I don't even know where I was, but when I'm looking at them, I think I should look away because I'm looking at what's like not correct about their eyes, right?
Yeah, I know.
But then also I'm looking into their eyes, being respectful as hell, right? Because I'm looking them in the eyes, but I'm also confused because I don't know if I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Dude, I know what you're saying. I've had this experience before. I don't know where I was. I think it might have been at Chapman when I was there. Like some other kid that I was talking to had a lazy eye, and I was like, I did not know where to look, but I was like, well, I'm gonna look at one of their eyes that's tracking on me. That's it. I was like, all right.
But it's also hard because some people with lazy eyes switch the eye that tracks. Dude,
how many experiences have you had?
Dude, in the past probably 3 weeks, at least 4. Which is so many for people with lazy eyes.
I mean, you know what? I know people with lazy eyes, and
so do I. And I'm not discriminating.
No.
People with lazy eyes are people as well.
No matter how small you are, a who is a who. No matter how small. What is that from the Whoville? From the Grinch.
Where?
And all the Dr. Seuss books. What is that? No matter what size or shape or how small you are, you're still a who.
Really taking me for a ride on this one. I have no idea where this is going.
Anyway, I think what we should, I'm going to bring up a topic.
Okay.
That I want to bring up is,
I'm going to bring up a topic that I'm going to bring up.
Oh, man.
What's your topic?
My topic is
string cheese.
What are you planning on developing in terms of land? What is your goal? I'm interested because
that's such a strange question.
Well, no, it's not.
It's not that question. It's not that strange. But what do you mean by that?
Like, because you've said that you've wanted to develop land.
How do you mean develop land?
Or not develop? You want to develop an indoor soccer arena. Right?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that.
Why?
because I haven't gotten funding for it yet.
True. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'm interested in like, because
I think that if you want to talk about that, I think that soccer in New Mexico it has a lot of room to grow. We currently have a ridiculous fan base for soccer, but very little follow through in terms of people getting out in soccer,
like playing
at the collegiate or professional level.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a really poor percentage for people who really love soccer and people who actually make it in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that I have an idea or a plan that could help that and aid that in some way. And I'm not going to bring up everything on here because I can't make everyone who's watching this sign an NDA.
Right.
But yeah, no, I have plans for it, and hopefully the right person will come forward soon and help me out with it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good idea. I mean,
and I've talked with you about
especially
more
that one component that just in general, like getting people to be well-rounded.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot to it. And now everyone on here is like, well, I fucking hate this podcast because it's super ambiguous and no one knows what's being said.
It's because I brought up a question.
I'm going to bring up a topic
that we can't talk about.
How's Uranus? What just happened? I think a bomb just went off in my home. Oh my God. Dude, how did it get hotter within seconds in this?
I don't know. It is a chimney. We're sitting in a chimney at the moment.
A dusty little chimney.
Woo!
But Dylan has been profusely chasing his dream in a state that is on the brink of disaster in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And
it always has.
How has that been going for you? This is a weird podcast because we're addressing the audience more than we should be. Like, we should be talking.
Yeah. We'll start talking.
Yeah. Let's start talking.
Okay.
Everybody, we're going to start talking now.
3, 2, 1.
And now we're going to start talking.
Okay.
Not to you guys, but to I'm going to. But how has that been going? Like, are you enjoying
living in LA?
No. God, I don't give a damn about LA
Come on.
whether you're living there or not. Where are you living? Are you living in a nice bougie place?
It's nice.
It's bougie.
I don't think it's bougie.
No?
It depends on who you ask.
Are you paying too much for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is everybody.
Yeah. Well,
you live in WeHo, West Hollywood?
Yeah, not technically West Hollywood. I live in La Brea area. So it's like right next to La Brea Tar Pits Museum.
Okay, so no one cares about that.
Which is it's like right below West Hollywood.
Okay.
And then it's nice. But actually, it's a really good area because right down the street is the shopping center called The Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And that place is pretty well known. It's like one of the nicest shopping centers I've ever been to.
I've heard about it.
Yeah. And it's right down the street. But the problem is with the high demand for people to live in these areas that are nice, there are, of course, going to be very overpriced apartments that are not what they should be. Like, there are some areas that, you're like, wow, that deserves to be $4,000 a month for an apartment. Like, you've got like
you should be living in gold.
No, but for the area and what you're getting, I could see that. But most of the time, you're getting stuff that's at least 600, 700 over what it should be.
What are you living in right now? How much is it?
Well, the overall price is $2,400 a month for 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's nice. I mean, it's not hardwood, but it looks like hardwood.
I'm glad we're getting down to the details. How many outlets does it have?
No, but in general, I would say like living in LA, like it's crazy. You actually like when people talk about how crazy LA is, it's true. People, when I first got there and we were looking at apartments, I mean, this is a true story. I was literally sitting in my truck and it was finals week for school. And my roommate and I were up looking at apartments, and I pulled off to the side, and on the sidewalk, there's these two older people and they're homeless. They're like a couple. And this one guy just goes out and starts peeing on the sidewalk and right next to my truck. I'm parked on the side of the street. And this is just right off of Wilshire. Right off of Wilshire, which is a main street in LA. And this other dude gets out of his car and he looks like he might be on something. He's a little like, he's not all there, and he's yelling. And he yells at this guy who's peeing, and he's like, "That's disgusting. Get the F out of here."
Well, at least he's defending you.
Well, he just was doing it because I don't know, he saw that guy peeing. And so then the wife of the old man who was peeing runs out and starts yelling at this other dude. And she's like, "He can do whatever he wants. He can do," and she's like, "You know what?" And she pulls down her pants right next to my truck.
Actually?
Yes.
No.
She pulled down her pants and starts pissing, and I'm watching her just piss right on.
What?
Yes. I'm not kidding.
You know.
And she's yelling. She's like this, like this. And she's peeing on the street or like on the sidewalk.
Dude, that is the hardest thing I've ever heard.
Dude, but that's
No. Dude, that is the hardest move ever. Someone yelling at someone else for peeing and then someone coming out to defend that person by pissing. Not peeing, they're pissing at that point.
Dude, and it was like they hadn't peed in about a year.
Oh my God.
It was pretty. They need some water.
They need some water.
Yeah, it was like brown.
It was brown? You were that close.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I'm in my truck here and 10 feet away. They're right next to my truck.
What were you doing at that point? Just watching?
I was watching and I was starting my truck.
Oh, you were in your truck?
Yeah, I was just sitting there because I was literally about to. I was just waiting because we were waiting to. We had just seen the apartment.
Dude.
Oh, I can't breathe.
That's actually insane. But if that's the worst thing that you've seen, that's not that bad.
No, it's not. There's
especially
also
for LA.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is like you just get used to it. There's also a guy or a lady who lost, or no, she was waiting for her relative to get out of the apartment, and she's sitting there in the passenger seat of the car, not even in the driver's seat. She gets out of the driver's seat and she's parked on the side of the street and is honking from the passenger seat and yelling just constantly. And the lady finally comes out and she just keeps yelling. And I was like, what? It's just people that's just normal. Just yelling at the top of her lungs for this lady to come out. And it's like, it just didn't make any sense to me. She gets out of her driver's seat, goes in the passenger seat, and honks.
Dude, I would love to be in some people's heads.
And remember I was telling you, a lady was recently attacked on the street.
With a hammer.
Yeah, with a hammer. She got hit in the eye.
And then apologized.
Apparently, yeah, the guy apologized right after. But that's horrible. I don't have that experience because, like, it's true. Like, when people are out walking, it's like, it's really sad, but...
Do you go out at night?
I did once.
Once?
Here's another really funny story. Okay. So my apartment has a rooftop, and you can walk up there. You get on the roof, and you walk up to this big, like, open area, and they've got a hot tub. It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And then just an open area to sit and, like, suntan. And you can overlook the city. And so I was working.
Oh, so bougie.
Well, it depends on who. Yeah.
Just messing with you.
But Yeah. Oh, I live in a nice building in LA. It's not the nicest, but it's nice.
Okay.
Anyway, but so I'm walking. I take a night walk at like 9:30 or 10 at night, and it's like I was like, I don't know if I should. Why am I doing this? But I had been working all day on a video, and I was taking a break, and I walk around outside, and I get back up to the apartment. And I'm on the 4th floor, and the rooftop is right above me, and I was like, I'm just gonna explore. I'll walk a little longer, and I was like, I haven't been up to the roof yet. I walk up there, and you have to go up the second set of stairs once you get to the rooftop. And there's a big wall where this open seating area is. And I pop my head over, and there's no light, and there's these 3 girls sitting there. And they jump out of their seat and literally are hiding behind chairs screaming. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What is going on? And they're like, oh my God, you scared us so bad. Cause they're like, we didn't know anyone else was up here.
Were they on drugs?
They were drinking up there. What?
Oh, how were they underage?
They were probably like our age. They had just graduated college.
But it seems so strange that they would jump so aggressively.
Well, dude, think about it. Like,
did you pop up like this? Here's Jenny.
No, I literally was just looking, and I turned, and I was like, oh, and then they were like, ah, like screaming. But here's the thing, and I hope it doesn't sound bad, but like, it's literally like, girls have to, it's a different experience. And like,
yeah, no,
we can't argue that. Like, it's just really shitty because it's like,
I agree, but
in LA, it's just,
I guess, yeah, you're in
that's
LA.
True.
For sure.
I mean, it's like, for me, if I just went on a walk and I just feel bad because it's like, I'm sure that those girls were like, well, like, why would some random dude be up here? You know, like,
yeah, no, we're at an
night.
apartment complex that's other people's as well. So definitely only us should be up here ever.
Yeah. But it's just in LA, it's just dangerous. Like,
yeah, no, that's fair.
And people are on high alert. So
I had my first experience with something like that literally yesterday when we were meeting, and I told you a little bit about it, but I got out of my car. Well, I was looking in this building, and we were across the street from the sawmill, and this woman pulls in and parks, and I'm looking in the building because I'm freaking interested in property, dude. I'm a property owner now. I'm interested in property.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking at it, scoping it out, realized Sawmill owns it and they're using it as storage currently, trying to lease it out. Figured that out, decided to turn around and we'll convene at Sawmill. This girl got out of her car in probably the most aggressive manner anyone could have ever exited a car. And
aggressive or just like
aggressive. Dude, she threw the door open and she wasn't even walking yet, but her strides were so big before she was walking. Her strides were so large.
She doesn't even shut the door. Just on the way.
That's essentially what it was like. Our dogs are just Homer. Hey, Homer.
Oh my!
Can you slap him?
God.
Homer, off.
He's mounted on her.
Yes. And my dogs are just being the best. But she was striding before she exited the car, and she threw the door closed so hard and so fast that I was like, okay, this is interesting, right? And then the next thing that ticked me to it was she locked her car at least 13 times. And I was like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah.
And she just kept locking it. And then after she realized she had locked it for sure, after the 13th ding, she decided to toss her keys to try and make it super obvious, right? That she was grabbing her pepper spray that was on her keys. And she was still in a very large stride. And she grabs her pepper spray and grabs it just full hand grab, and then decides, let me put my finger on the trigger. And so she had her finger on the trigger.
Full finger stride.
full stride all the way, you know? And she was looking back at me the whole time. And I was like, hey, you know that pretty much everybody here is going to the same place. And there's no parking. We're all going to the sawmill. But also, respect.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because she was ready to defend herself if anything had happened.
well, yeah, I mean, it's just.
And I'm not taking it personally.
No, I mean, it's
I
just
thought
the
it
way
was,
it is.
But she was, and she made it look like she was on a mission.
It shouldn't be like that. It's just like, come on. People should be able to freaking walk, dude. You know?
Right, and I was
just like,
walking.
come
She didn't
on.
disable my walking.
But like, sure, she should just be able to walk and not have to worry
Comfortably,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. But
Dude, that was the longest setup to a sneeze.
dude. Oh, dude, that sneeze made my throat feel like a torch is scorching it. Like there's a lighter in my throat. Woo.
That sounds pretty horrible.
Also, it still feels like we're in a 425-degree oven.
It got hotter. Like within the past minute, when you sneezed, the heat
A
increased.
nice plume of fire came out. A nice plume of just hot air that just soaked in to our skin.
Are those the weirdest experiences that you've had in LA so far?
Pretty much, yeah.
I would say the weirdest was probably becoming friends with a homeless man.
For my thesis?
Yeah.
Dude, you know, that is actually really sad because I did that. Yeah, I did that film.
Mm-hmm.
My thesis film about Tony Rios, who has been homeless in Orange for like more than half of his life. And he went to rehab. He was doing fine, like really good. And then one day he called me a couple times and I was supposed to see him before I left for LA. And I just couldn't. I was working and I didn't make time really, and I feel bad. But I called after he had called me a couple times. It was about a week later. I finally called him back. No answer. So then I know his family now. So like I called his mom, and he's literally 59 years old, and his mom is like in her 80s, and she's like, they're Latino. I think they're Mexican.
Yeah.
And she said, no, yeah, he's back where you found him.
Oh,
and I was like, it sucks. I mean, yeah, because I got to know him kind of. It's just sad.
Well, even through the film, you got to know him.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm in the film in parts where I lend him a phone. And,
I mean, I got to know him through the film is what I mean.
I
felt like I knew
a viewer.
him. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I want people to like.
Right. That sucks that he's back on the street.
Yeah, but honestly, it's like, it's not with addiction. It's not really, I mean, it's very surprising if you don't have a relapse. Like that's not really.
Right. But I'm sure he's had multiple before that.
Yeah. Well, what I learned is that he had been off and on and off drugs since he was about 14.
Right.
So it was just always there. And he got clean for 5 years, only a 5-year period. And he did it cold turkey. And he was on some pretty crazy drugs like methamphetamine.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he just, it was just crazy because he did it without rehab. I think he might have gone to a detox center, maybe. But he had been in and out of detox centers. I think, according to him, he said he had never tried rehab and like finished it until this last time when I was filming him, and he finally did rehab. And his family, I literally met his family, and I was at like Easter with them.
You went to Easter with them?
Yeah, and because I did an interview with him there.
Right, on Easter?
Yeah, because he was clean.
Oh, yeah, because he came
sober.
back for...
And he went to visit his family. He finally met his granddaughter. He had never met her. And his 2 kids had been in foster homes since they were kids.
And he, did you meet
them? And they're grown up. I've never met his kids, but they're grown up, and now he has grandkids.
And the grandkids know the grandmother or the great grandmother, I guess.
Yeah, you mean Tony's mom?
Yeah.
Like they all, I mean, Tony's just the only one that has never seen his family that much because he's been out on the street.
Jesus.
And he finally met these people. And then now, yeah, he's just back on the freaking street. But I'm not like that surprised, unfortunately, because I was like, I mean, again, relapsing is just almost like literally part of the process of getting clean. Like it's not as simple as people think, where they're just like, oh, well, they went to rehab, they should be fine.
Well, it's been,
or not fine, but they're on the road to recovery. It's like the road to recovery is almost inevitably relapsing.
Right. I mean, he's been on drugs for more than half of his life. Like,
and that's all he knows.
More. Yeah.
Like, so, but yeah, I felt bad because I felt like he needed people to like, is it recording?
Yeah, keep going.
He needed people to rely on, like sober people. And unfortunately, just inevitably, I became someone that he was like, he told me when he was in rehab, he's like, can I call you every week? Because he was like, I don't have anyone else to call, really, my family, but like, it's nice to rely on some people so that I'm not falling back into the wrong crowd. I was like, yeah, man, like, sure. But I tried to create boundaries where I'm like, I can't go through the process with you, because ultimately you have to do it. And I just felt bad because he had called me twice and I missed it. And then like, as soon as I tried, like I waited, and during that time period, he kind of lost the phone, went back. And I don't think it's because I didn't answer. He may have just done it anyway, but sometimes I'm like, oh man, like I should have just freaking called him back. Like how hard would that have been? And I was just thinking, I was like, oh, I'll call him back. He's probably good. I was like, fuck, like he probably like in that potentially, I always think I'm like, he probably was like, well, this is life for me. This is how it's always been. People
I'm sure
kind of believe in me.
So
and then
difficult.
I know.
Because at that point he has to find a job.
He did. He found a job, but then the problem is he stopped. He just stopped working because he's like, dude, I don't want to do this. I was like, because he was working at a waste recycling plant, which that's got to be just, he's sorting through trash.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's had several opportunities, to be honest. Like he's had like, and that's how a lot of homeless people are though. Like you look, and he was mentally there. Like, he was not, he was so mentally there that he was aware that drugs had stunted his growth mentally, if that makes sense. Because some people just, they have no idea what's going on because things have really been messed up. But
COVID.
Oh, man. You didn't answer that. Dude, 4 pounds of dust just settled into my lung.
What? Yeah, but anyway. I'm sure that was a crazy process going through that with, some of the shots where you're,
those shots,
I'll
tell you what,
in the dark with this guy, we're pretty crazy.
Lilo Stitch.
Yeah, but oh my dude, I'm sweating through my shirt.
I know.
I don't know how it's so hot in here. It's not. It doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I don't like some of those shots when you're like, it's in the middle of the night and you're just hanging out with this homeless guy.
Oh yeah,
in the film, and like I don't know California or wherever you were very well. I mean, I know Orange is probably one of the better counties, probably.
Well, Orange as a city is it's pretty like safe because of the university. Like there are cops everywhere. And the part I was in wasn't the best area that he was in of Orange, but yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, no, but it just seemed, I don't even know how you decided that was going to be what your film was about.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I don't like making, like, I love film, but the purpose is not to, like, literally, the reason why I stayed up last night to edit this video is because some of these projects like that, I'm learning this this is kind of what I want to do is make projects that have way more meaning than just entertainment.
Yeah.
That's why I love documentary, because it's like I literally, for that Tony film, for my thesis, I went to crazy ends to like make it, because all I could think about was he and his family. I was like, I don't care about like what this thing looks like. I just need to finish it for him. And then for this video for the nonprofit about sudden cardiac arrest, it's like, you know, the mother who started this foundation, her son died at 18. And I was like, that could have been one of us. Like, he played soccer. He's freaking good at soccer.
Yeah.
And was going to college, and they had a good friend group. And I was like, all I could think about was like our group. And this kid was just like, I don't know, just like somebody that we knew super well that just didn't wake up one day. And I'm just like, I don't know, just making a video, that's the least I could do.
Right.
And like, that's why I push so damn hard, because I'm like, there's more meaning than just me sitting and being like, dude, I've always wanted to make a film that looks so cool.
Right.
Like, I don't have any motivation doing that.
Well, that was one of the reasons that I like stopped making videos, was because I wasn't finding purpose or meaning in my videos. Like, we were traveling to cool places and filming cool stuff.
Well, we talked about it, remember? Story and like, well, we didn't really talk about purpose though. We talked about story.
Yeah, well, I mean, the story is like the purpose.
Yeah, it coincides, like,
you know,
with
like if you don't have a story, then there's no purpose to the film really, unless it's just visuals. And that is your purpose. Like, but that wasn't enough of a purpose for me, you know?
Jeez,
dude, that was a rumble. This is probably the worst podcast anyone has ever listened to.
No, dude, it's going good. We've had some.
I have to pause. Hiccups. I have to pause this, and
dude, it's so hot.
Dude, it was so hot in here. I had to pause because I was sweating. I was sweating to the point where my socks and my shoes are off and my socks are off. And if you know me, that doesn't happen often. And I could feel the sweat dripping in between my toes.
Oh God.
And that's disgusting. And it's a great visual, but but that's where we were at. And so we've made some adjustments. We've opened up the garage door so that we've got a little cross breeze coming. And it's cooled down a little bit.
Yeah,
we're also in the worst chairs possible. These leather chairs,
plush.
They're plushy. They're comfy.
Yeah, but they just have a lot of heat.
Right, and they make you moist.
Yeah.
Like in a bad way.
I think they have heaters in them.
They might have built-in heaters. I don't know what they're plugged into, but
they just have hand warmers just stacked on hand warmers stacked on stacked on stacked.
Dude, that reminds me when I was younger and me and Ian Patterson were traveling.
For what? Soccer?
No, I think it was for Brendan's soccer, or we were just going to California for something. But it was a 12-hour drive and we were both in the back seat. And we kept each falling asleep while we were driving there. And we would try and trick the other one and turn on their heater, because we had heaters in the back seat, without them knowing. And most of the time it would last for like a minute, 2 minutes, and you would be like, oh my God, it's so hot. But I did it to Ian one time, and I had this, it was called Bluey, and it was a Blue's Clues pillow. And I threw it.
Was it yours?
Yeah, it was mine. And I threw it at him. I used to call him Bluey. And I threw it at him and hit it at the same time, hit his thing. And then it fell right in front of it.
What? What fell? The Bluey?
The Bluey. The Blue's Clues.
What do you mean you switched the heat on the seat?
I threw the pillow at him and hit the seat heater at the same time. And then he slapped it down and it fell right in front of the heater, so you couldn't see the indicator lights. And he fell asleep right after that. And woke up an hour later.
Just burning.
And he was like, oh my God. And he moved the thing. He was like, what?
Just putting out a small fire in his leg. He's like, oh,
Dude. I miss those days.
yeah, dude. I was thinking about that when you're young and you're coming back from like a road trip or you're just literally coming back from like a late movie or something, if you know what I mean. And you just have the ability to fall asleep in the car, and then you're so tired, and I remember my parents would always just be like, all right, guys, we're home. And then we'd get up and I'd be so tired and I'd just go straight into my bed.
Yeah,
I miss that.
You're like barely walking and they're like, grab your bag. And you're like, okay.
And this was a year ago.
My daddy had to carry me to bed last year.
Just put me on his shoulder. I had to get back surgery the next week.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Did he get back surgery?
No.
Oh,
his back is not great, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you're back for a week. And then
Until Monday.
So
Less
a week.
What?
Because you got in on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
No. Because I got in Monday night.
Yeah, so a week.
6 days.
So you leave 7 days after you got here. Stop squeaking it.
Sorry.
Dude, oh my God. We should end it, huh? Dylan's done.
No, I'm not. Keep going.
Dude, I'm going to say it right now, and it comes with zero jokes.
What?
This is the worst podcast I've ever recorded.
Dude, I'm going to say this. Dude, you got to not think the worst.
Dylan, I don't want to bring up this pessimism shit with you again because I slammed you earlier, and I'll do it again. And I didn't slam you with a joke. I slammed you with logic. And that's a whole nother level of body slam.
That's true.
And the nipple landed on your face.
No, I think... Oh. Sounds like a...
Dude, we're playing an accordion while we're recording a podcast because your chubby cheeks can't stop rotating.
My chubby cheeks can't stop. Dude, it's hot again.
Stop.
Dude, you're sitting right by a
I know,
gust.
it's cool, bro.
And
That's what happens.
I'm over here blocked into a corner of sweltering
No.
Sahara heat.
Well, yes, but that's what happens when you absolutely get body slammed by logic. You get a little warm.
That's what you think, that you body slammed me.
Well, I did.
No.
And I know you know that. And I know that you're not going to admit it right now, but I know you know that.
No. It's... Yeah, well...
Time will tell. And that's the only thing that will tell.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Dude, that
movie's good.
I don't remember what movie that is, but
It's Bruce Almighty.
it's Bruce Almighty.
It's such a good movie.
And it's a great movie.
Dude, oh, man. I want to watch that again. Remember when he's typing on the computer? He's all... Yeah, and then he takes a sip. He's all... like burps.
Dude, that burp that you had inside was...
Oh my God. That was a sonic cannon. That was heard in Milwaukee.
Dude, that was... Oh my God. I had words. I was going to say something and I totally forgot what I was going to say, but it was...
Dude.
This is what I was going to say. It felt like there was a small demon, and I'm talking small, like really, really small. And he was inside of you, and he was just pushing on your diaphragm, and he was giving it a little push, and then all of a sudden...
Why's it got to be a demon?
Did you hear it?
What? My burp?
Yeah.
It was more like a... Moo. Sounds like a Star Wars creature.
It's like an alarm.
Bow. It's like a ship coming into tide.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to the Nautical Sounds Hour.
Oh my God. Dude, okay, but I have to just bring this up.
Yeah.
Your eyes got really red just now.
I know.
And I just thought of when your eye got dislodged or yeah.
Not dislodged.
Or
My eye didn't fall out.
Dude, weren't you saying that it could be?
Well, no, they said that I could have a detached retina.
That's insane.
But I got elbowed in the eye in a soccer game in the most perfect fashion that possibly could have happened.
That whoever this was had tiny elbow.
Dude, I don't
syndrome.
know how it happened, but he literally there was zero contact with any structural part of my face.
His elbow must have been tiny.
It wasn't sharp. Tiny, dude. I mean, it was probably sharp, but
like
you don't have to go very far into this meat to make it hurt. Right,
and detach.
Yeah, and dude,
this meat.
Yeah, it's a little chunky piece of meat. But dude, it was like the second it happened, I was like, I'm blind. I'm fucking blind. I'm blind forever. And I was laying on the ground. And you know what? I thought in this moment while I was laying on the ground, I was like, dude, you become a man. Because I was on the ground and I was like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. And I wasn't crying. I was like, this hurts immensely, but I'm fine.
What did it feel like?
Dude, it felt like I have no idea. Have never felt anything like it before. Never felt anything like it since. It was like a great pressure. The great northeastern pressure just like power crushed
Put
my
a cheek
eyeball.
Right on your eye.
And I hit the ground and I was like both hands. And it's like, you know, when you hurt your knee and you pull your knee into your chest immediately, it was like both my hands were over my eye.
Because it was falling out.
Yeah, no, it bounced in and then ricocheted out. And I took one finger and went and popped it right back in because that's what you have to do. Yeah, I polished it first, obviously. Had to get some of the grass off.
Had to get a cataract off that I wanted to get off for a while.
Pulled out my X-Acto blade and just went.
God, it's annoying me. I'm stopping.
But
dude, that freaked me out when you said. I was like, dude. I was like, dude, oh man.
And I had to go to the eye doctor like 3 times. No, 2 times, only 2 times, which is pretty good for getting your eye mutilated. But I immediately was over sitting on I just went over to I walked off the field. I got up and I was like, it's not doing me any good to lay here rolling on the ground. So I got up and walked over to our trainer and I was like, hey, can you put some ice on my eye or something? And he was like, are you okay? Like everyone around me was like, there's something wrong with you a little bit because you're not freaking out.
Well, what did they think? I mean, they obviously could put together that you got elbowed in the eye, but like what?
But they were all asking me, they're like, where did it hit you? And I said, my eyeball. And they were like, no, but like, did it hit any? And I said, no, my eyeball. And that was it. That was the only thing.
Did your eye look different or were they just?
Yeah, dude, it was so swollen and red. Like my whole eye swelled shut for like 3 days.
Oh. And then it was bloodshot.
And I couldn't move it. It was terrifying.
Which eye was it?
My right one.
Dude.
And I could not move the eye.
And it's good now. Like you can.
Yeah, but I'm seeing floaters more often now.
Really?
Yeah. In only this eye.
Have you followed up with the doctor to just see?
No.
No. What do you think I am?
Hey, buddy.
Have you seen the healthcare system? It's rigged.
No, I'll take a blade to my eye before I go in to see a doctor again. No, I have not. I've thought about it actually because I saw a floater the other day and I was like, well, that's a big one.
What? Yeah, I have
floaters
floaters
too. That looks like a ghost. That looks like a large ghost in my eye.
Oh. You've never had floaters before?
No, I have. It runs in the family. My grandpa had floaters. My dad had floaters. But
I do too.
And I used to have floaters before I got elbowed in the eye, but I would have them in both eyes simultaneously. And
now it's just that one.
And it's only my right eye. And it's like big spots. And I can't see through them or anything. And they're not moving. They're just moving with my eyeball.
Yeah.
Like usually the floaters that I had would like move across my eyes.
Did they go away after a while?
Yeah, they go away.
But it's kind of scary.
It is because she told me, she was like, if you see a large black spot or any spots where you can't see through it, it means your retina could be detaching. And I'm not a doctor, but this is what I heard.
Who said that? Not a doctor.
No, a doctor.
You're saying you're not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I'm a surgeon. I'm not a doctor.
But what did she say that there's a possibility that it could be detached later?
Yeah.
On? What?
Well, because they can't. Literally all they do is shine a light to the back of your eye, and they're like, "Well, that's all I can see." It's not like they go back there and fucking examine it.
Yeah. Well,
they just fucking shine a bright ass light in your eye and then make it fucking swell up so that they can see all the way through. Like your eyes are right now. I can see your brain. You haven't slept.
I might as well have gotten elbowed in my eyes 40 times.
I know. And you look like it too.
Yeah, dude.
You look like shit.
Thank you for that.
No, but that was terrifying. Yeah. I've only had a few injuries in soccer. And that one was the scariest. It wasn't the most painful. Mm-hmm. It was definitely the scariest.
Isn't that crazy? Like anything in your head is so scary. Because your extremities, it's like you could kind of.
Dude, I could cut my leg off and I could live.
Yeah, but if you even if you're just one eye is gone, like you can't see out of it, that's horrible. You can't.
Have you done that depth perception thing at
the doctors?
No, not at the doctors, but at like when they have the faces. One's like it's a mold of a face, and one is facing this way.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the mold
I know
goes in, and then the other one is facing out. And if you look at it with two eyes, you can see it fine. You can tell this one's facing out, that one's facing in. But if you cover one eye, your like shadow perception or your depth perception or something is off, and they look the same. And you can't really tell until you go to the extremes that one is facing backwards and the other one's facing forward. And that's something that's crazy. But also something that's crazy is when I was younger, I told my friend's mom, I said, hey, do you ever think that it's weird that if we didn't have shadows, we couldn't see in 3D? And I was like, I thought that in that moment, and I was like, dude, I'm smart as shit. And I was 11 or less, probably. I don't know. Probably it was probably yesterday, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I remember that moment because I was like, hey, have you ever thought about how if there weren't shadows on things, you couldn't see if they were round or square or anything because there would be no shadow? And she was like, whoa.
Spicy.
She said, whoa, a little bit.
This kid's caliente. It's pica.
This one's got some spice.
His brain needs to be put out. Ay.
Frijoles.
Oh man,
dude. Last night was like the most fun that I've had in a fucking long time.
Oh, me too.
We laughed so goddamn hard last night.
I know, and it was literally because I almost choked on my own.
I don't know what happened, and I still have no idea what happened. And all you had to do was make a funny noise, and I almost landed flat on my spine. I laughed so hard that all of the breath left my body, and I felt like I was being summoned by Jesus a little bit, but he only brought me up a certain amount and was like, hey, you're not worthy, and almost dropped me on my back. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah, you're saying you almost went parallel.
I know. I almost found the casket.
The hoagie jogie.
The young boy mambo.
God. Dude, I'm hot as hell. You're basking in, you're just soaking up all the winter freeze. Yeah. I'm over here. I've got one breeze on my left kneecap, and that's about it.
Well, that's because I'm giving that one to you.
God, dude. Clear the pathway. Clear the runway.
I'm allowing that one to come through because, hey, this is my show, and I should have the good stuff.
Well,
I don't care about the people that come on this show.
You should, because they're making the show for you.
And I've got nothing, but you also have nothing.
And this is the I've Got Nothing podcast.
This is the I've Got Nothing podcast. And did we talk about it when we had our first podcast that we worked on that thing? I think we did.
What?
We tried to work on the intro for the podcast.
Oh, the video? Oh, dude, we should make one.
It would have worked if the fucking audio file would have lived.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, I was thinking about the other one that we made.
We didn't make anything. We just filmed
Or not made, but yeah, filmed. I liked both.
Dude,
but
that is unbelievable.
I know, dude. I can't stop turning, but I'm willing to make the sound because even though it sounds like a freaking gecko.
A gecko?
I don't know why I said that.
I mean, good God, man. Dylan's last brain cell just the guy in there is like, give me a word. Give me a fucking anything. And then just this little dude, a little guy from behind a small desk. And he's the only one left because all of the other ones.
Have you seen that movie Osmosis Jones?
And he's the only one left because all the other ones
went to Hawaii.
Clocked out. Yeah, and they went to Hawaii. And he was in there, and he's hiding under his desk because he's afraid of the dark. And
it's very dark in there.
Yeah, and this guy's trying to run the whole show, and this guy pops up, and he's like, "Gecko," and the guy was like, no, why?" And you said it, and he was like, "Oh no, dude," and he wanted any word except for gecko.
Well, you know. When life gives you lemons, you say gecko.
Or you rotate the chair again.
That chair is broken.
I remember I sat in that chair in some of the podcasts
Let me just rotate one more time. All right.
I had other people on the podcast, and I was sitting in that chair, and I would do it, and I was like, stop moving.
Oh, dude, it's hard because you start getting into like...
Yeah, you get into like a rhythm and a flow. You just have to, Dylan.
Oh. Dude, my body just like got possessed by tiredness.
Oh my God. That was incredible, dude. I've never seen someone get overcome with a yawn so hard. And also the people that say yawns are contagious are fucking lying because I just went through 2 of your yawns without yawning.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't yawn after both of the times you yawned.
Oh, I thought you said 2-year yawns.
No, 2 of your yawns.
Oh.
Your yawns.
You're sitting in bed. You're all...
No.
Oh. Dude, I literally hit... I hit the Great Wall of China just now. Smacked right into it.
You're losing it completely.
Whew. Also, when did you guys get those Fort Lewis shirts?
This was for a camp.
Oh, because they're usually colorful.
Yeah, well, and nicer for like training. This is just a camp shirt.
It's just a shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think we're probably done here.
I'm toast.
Yeah, Dylan, I mean, literally just got possessed by a yawn. If you're only listening to this, you have to go watch it on YouTube just to see him get possessed by a yawn because
that's the highlight of this entire
his
thing.
head exited frame because he was yawning so hard.
Dude, my body like
I don't think Dylan's
going
to be allowed to drive home tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't drive home tonight. You couldn't even make it through that sentence.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. This has been episode 15 of the I've Got Nothing podcast. If you made it this far,
congratulations. You get the golden ticket.
Yeah, you're a trooper. And
you're coming to Willy Wonka's factory.
And if you know what a chocolate factory is, then you know where it is. And it's my butthole.
Dude, I just had
a stinky premonition.
I had some hot air leave an orifice that.
Dude, I'm going to throw that chair out. I'm falling asleep now. I almost just fell asleep on the podcast, right? Okay. Thank you for listening.
Happy
like and
Cinco de
subscribe.
Mayo.
Just tell us what your favorite moment was, and honestly, we'll cut it down to just that moment. But
no, thank you for listening in. This is the I've Got Nothing podcast.
And also, Dylan's not the host. Don't know why he's even speaking. So, if you hated Dylan as much as I hated him tonight,
give a thumbs up.
Give a thumbs up. And
oh my,
thank you, Lucky, taking us out. All right, be well and jolly. Bye.
Hey.